Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. This evening we're going to make falafel. That's spelled F-A-L-A-F-E-L. And what that is, it's a Middle Eastern dish, and it's made with soaked chickpeas that are ground up, and a lot of spices are added, and then it's fried. Now this is pretty common in Israel, also in Egypt, and a lot of the Mediterranean countries, certainly in Greece. So, I've never made this before, but I certainly am willing to give it a try. These are chickpeas, and it's 1 pound of chickpeas that have been soaked overnight. Now they're not cooked, they're only soaked. So we're going to grind those up. I put about half of them at one time in the food processor. Alright, I'm going to finish grinding the other half up and we'll be back. Okay, we have finished grinding up the chickpeas. I want to just show you this. You want them to the point. See how they'll all stick together when you just squeeze it, so it's like really a coarse meal is what they're like. And again, this is 1 pound of chickpeas, just the 1 pound bag. And the way I soaked them is I brought a big pot of water to boil, and then I just dumped them. Well, I picked over them and washed them first. Then I just dumped them in, put the lid on, cut the burner off, and let them soak overnight. Alright, now, just wanted to show you. There's what the chickpea looks like after it's been soaked. Of course, this little hole will come off, but you're going to grind that up with everything else. See, it's hard. You don't want the cooked, because I think they're not going to stick together very well if you cook them ahead of time. Alright, now we are ready to make the other spice ingredients and the cilantro and the Italian parsley. So the first thing I want to do is just, I'm going to peel, this looks like about 7 garlic cloves. So I'm just going to smash those and peel them. And all this is going to go right in the food processor. I'm just doing all these at one time. Okay. I'll just peel these. I always take that little end off. When you smash them, of course, it makes them a lot easier to get the peeling off. And again, you do want fresh garlic for this. I mean, I'm guilty of using a lot of garlic powder in a lot of dishes, but I think this particular one is going to probably need the fresh garlic. So it looks like I've got about 7 medium-sized garlic cloves here. Well, one of them's actually small. And I'm going to put all of this in the blender, the spice ingredients, and we're going to grind it all up, and then we're going to add it to the ground up chickpeas. And again, these chickpeas are not cooked, they've just been soaked, because we are going to fry all this as soon as we get it all put together. Okay. So I'm just going to chop this up just a little bit. I use that little knife. Just rough chop it, several pieces. Alright, I'm going to put all this in the food processor. And next, I'm going to put a whole bunch of cilantro. I'm going to just chop those bottom stems off. Discard those, they're really too big. I'm just going to rough chop that or get it into pieces. I'm going to put the whole business right in the food processor. Take out some of those bigger stems. Now I also want some Italian parsley. So I'm going to take about half the bunch I bought at the store. Cut those bottom stems off that. And that will be good enough. Just cram that in the food processor. One fairly large onion, and this is just a sweet onion. I'm just going to cut that in big chunks. Throw that in the food processor. Alright, and next I want to squeeze in the juice of 1/2 lemon. Let me put that so you can see. This lemon's just going to freshen it up a bit. That should work. Okay, next I'm going to put probably about 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. About like that. Right in there. I'm going to put some coriander that's been ground up, and I want probably about a good teaspoon of that. Shake it in. And a teaspoon of cumin. I can't get my spoon out. I'm going to use a heaping teaspoon of the cumin, if I can get my spoon out. There we go. About a heaping teaspoon. And then we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of just regular baking powder. Just regular baking powder. Alright, we're ready to mix this up. Here's what it looks like. So now we're going to mix this in with the ground up chickpeas. Alright. Now we're just going to mix it all in. And guess what? I'm going to use my hands. Just mix it all in. It mixes in thoroughly. I can tell you it smells great. Now, I've never had this before, but I was really looking for some other way to fix the chickpeas. Now, chickpeas don't have a whole lot of taste, so I did definitely put them in smoothies for the protein. But I was also looking for another way to use them, and I ran across this on the internet. So I thought, well, I'm going to give this a try. So y'all are seeing it, me making it for the first time, and I'm really hoping it'll be good. Now, I have made the vegetarian type little hamburgers with like black beans and kidney beans and all that kind of stuff, and I really didn't like them very much. Kind of like the Morning Star stuff. I just didn't like it very much, so hopefully I'm going to like this a lot more. I certainly do like the ingredients with all the cilantro and all that. All right, I'm going to form these into patties. Now, normally, if you were in the Middle East, you'd find this deep fried in a little bowl, and they just mash it all together, and they've actually got a little instrument that they call a falafel maker, I guess. But they would deep fry them in a little ball about the size of a ping pong ball, and they would deep fry them, and you serve them with a sauce. So I'm not going to really be doing any like that tonight. I'm going to actually make them into patties and fry them like small little hamburgers. Anyway, let me get these into patties and we'll be back. Now I wanted to show you how I'm forming these into little patties. I'm taking just a regular ice cream scoop, and I'm going to use my hand and make sure it's all packed really tight in there, and then just take off what's around the edges and just put it in on the little wax paper and mash it down to where it's about a 1/2 inch thick, like a little hamburger patty, but you do want them compressed. Alright, so it looks like this is probably going to make maybe about 12 to 16 little patties. Now, I have got a new love, and I'll have to show you. Coconut oil. We have tried using this in green beans. Let's see what else. Oh, I made some deviled eggs today, and instead of mayonnaise, I used a little bit of coconut oil. This is quite delicious. Everything you fix with it, it just has just a really good taste, and it does not taste like coconut, okay? And you can get it at Walmart. Now, I got the kind that is organic, and it's refined, but it's really not like cooked, let's put it that way. Alright, so we're ready to fry these now. Now, normally these are fixed by deep frying them, but I just choose not to do that. I mean, we really get enough of stuff that's deep fried without adding to it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on. I'm going to try to cook. I think I can cook 4 at one time. So now let me just explain about the coconut oil. I think it gets to be an oil at 76 degrees, so some of it is kind of soft. Now if you put it in the refrigerator, which you don't have to do, by the way, it would become really hard. And the body uses coconut oil different than it does other oils. And you might want to look that up on the internet, because everybody's got a completely different opinion now of the coconut oil. It's not hydrogenated. So I'm going to just start out with a tablespoon. And it does not smell like coconut at all. It seems to be a very enhancing taste that it adds to almost everything. I was very surprised fixing the deviled eggs today using a little bit of it. It was really made them just very, very nice. Alright, so I'm going to cut my burner down to just a little below medium. And I've got about a tablespoon of oil in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my little falafel into the skillet. Just little patties. And get 4 in one skillet. And again, you really want to use the dried chickpeas that have been soaked for this, because I think if you try, I've seen some recipes for the using the canned chickpeas, but I suspect if you use those, they're going to kind of fall apart on you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make up the rest of my little patties and let these fry. Now they're going to need to fry 5 to 7 minutes on just a medium heat, and you just want them a little brown. All right, we'll be back. All right, we're back, and I am frying out the last of the falafel, and I think it's going to make 16. Now, I did taste of one. They're delicious, okay? So what I did was once I turn them over, I add a little more of the coconut oil to them, and I want to get them good and browned. Now, we're going to make really a Greek sauce to go with these. This is 1 large cucumber that I de-seeded, and I just put it in the food processor and ground it up. Now to this, I'm going to add some fat-free sour cream, which I don't know the difference in fat-free sour cream and yogurt. I mean, I think they're the same thing. But anyway, I couldn't find this big a container of the yogurt, so, and you'd want very plain yogurt. So I'm going to add probably, I'm going to say ½ a cup to 3/4 of a cup of this fat-free sour cream to the food processor. I'm going to sprinkle in a little dill weed, a little garlic powder, about maybe a tablespoon really, and some sea salt. Maybe a ½ a teaspoon of sea salt or a little more maybe. I'll just give this a quick whirl. That'll do it. And this is going to be the sauce that goes on these, I keep saying this, I want to make sure I say it right, falafel. In a little bowl here. And there are other kinds of dipping sauce that you can use. Of course, in this case, it's going to be a sauce that I'm going to put over these little patties. Let me get every last bit of that out of there. There's what it looks like. All right, these other 4, I believe, are just about ready. So we're ready to take these out now. Some of the recipes said you could add to the mixture a couple of tablespoons of flour to help hold them together. And I think that would work pretty good. I just wanted to make the pure little patties. And also the next time I fix them, I think I'm going to try deep frying them, you know, with a little ping pong size little balls. But I know for sure when you fry them like that, you're going to have to discard the grease because some of the mixture is going to come off in there. All right, I'm going to plate these up and show you what they look like. We'll be right back. Alrighty, here is the falafel, and I've already tasted of it. It is delicious. And really what it is basically ground up chickpeas with a lot of cilantro and spices added to it. And then the dip is more of a Greek dip. It's just really sour, fat-free sour cream, garlic, a little bit of dill, and a ground up cucumber. Now I did de-seed that cucumber, but it was a big one. All right, there it is. And I wanted to put a plug in for the coconut oil. I love it because it doesn't impart any extra taste to the food. So I'm going to be trying this on a lot of other things. I'm thinking it'll be great with fried squash, fried sweet potatoes, whatever. It is quite expensive though. I think this little bottle cost me $6.98, and that was at Walmart. Anyway, falafel with a Greek sauce. There is another type sauce that you can make to go on this. It's a ground up sesame seed type sauce, which is, I'm sure, really good too. But anyway, there you are. See you next time.